Welcome to the Blueprint Athletes Basketball Podcast. I'm John Horford, here again with the lovely Joshua Jeremiah Horford.
Appreciate it, bro.
I know you do. I know you do. So, what do you want to talk about today?
Post footwork?
Post footwork. Not a lot of people are interested in post footwork anymore. They say that the post game's dying and players need to move away from that, and too few people need that footwork to have success in today's game. What do you think about that?
It's disrespectful.
It's a little disrespectful, and it's a little off base.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little off base in my mind because just from personal experience, training players from guards to bigs, right? I've truly found that the best guards still tend to have good fundamental post footwork in terms of being able to land on two with balance, to pivot, to step through, for the rondos and for pump fake step throughs. You see D Rose uses the pump fake step through all the time.
Right.
He'll drive to the basket. He'll spin, pump fake, they jump, step through. It's a post move.
Yeah.
It's post footwork, right?
It's important. I feel like it's really important for guards because other guards don't know how to guard people in the post.
They don't. But then it's super important, and I mean it's down a little bit on my list, but I mean I guess we can jump all over the place. It doesn't really matter. Let's just go with the natural flow. But even if I'm a guard and I'm driving in from the wing and I get into the paint, if I land on two, right? If I don't have a shot right away, a little shot or floater, post footwork can come into play. Once you get into the paint and if you spin for a layup, post footwork.
All right.
Right? If you do the Olajuwon, I feel did it first, but everyone calls it a rondo now, or I call it rondo now, where you fake a layup, front pivot back, and then score. Super effective.
Right.
Right? We saw a couple kids last night at one of the games that we went to, used it. I don't think they capitalized on it because they traveled a little bit.
Yeah.
But dude, it gets players open, right? It creates space. When you really sell up at the rim and fake, and then you pivot back around for that layup or for a kick out or anything like that, right? So being able to have post footwork will help any player to just be more balanced, have better body control, and will just give you more options for your arsenal. When you watch NBA players go to mid-range game or they're backing someone down, right? Back down, post footwork.
Yeah.
You got to get used to that stimulus of being able to hit someone, bump, and then counter, or bump, shot, or bump, attack.
All right.
Bump, spin back, and have those types of options. But all of that is post footwork, right? I literally wrote down in here, the first sentence on this note is, in a world of positionless basketball. The way I read it in my head is in a world of positionless basketball. I don't know. I'm losing my mind, Josh. So what I'm saying in this note is, in a world of positionless basketball, changing the way we think about the development of players would ideally include post footwork as an emphasis of training for any player, regardless of position. There's been so many times where I go to work with teams, and I do work with obviously the guards and the wings too with most of my teams, but some teams will be oh, do you just want to come in, just work with the bigs? I'm I'll work with everyone. And it's not I can only teach, obviously, you already know, I'll teach guard skills too.
Right.
It doesn't matter, passing, coming off a pick and roll, shooting, scoring off the dribble, all that. It doesn't matter. But I know what the coaches mean, right? So what they're saying is oh, you're probably just coming in and your expertise is probably post footwork, and we can just you just work with those three big guys, and I'll get the guards down here and we'll go do something. And then I'm watching what they're doing, and I'm just oh my God. And one, even if I was to choose to do post footwork, every single one of the players on your team could benefit from it. Every single one, right? It shouldn't be looked at as just a big thing. it should be just looked at as another aspect of the game for all players to get down. You know, everyone needs that balance, that body control, right? Being able to make contact and make counters like efficiently. Like if you score in the paint or the mid-range area at all, you should work on post footwork to a degree, you know, being able to reverse pivot both ways, front pivot both ways, you know, pump fake step throughs where you're actually like selling, you know, the shot, or just even a pump fake and then going back up. Like pump fake, you know, create contact and finish, you know, those types of things are considered like post, but guards can benefit from all of that.
I mean, why not have it? What's the worst that could happen if you have post
if you
forward,
did have that as part of your
moves?
game? Exactly.
Right.
Nothing. It's just, I feel like it's just a small-minded way of you know, thinking. But I mean, and that's the other thing, a lot of people, you just don't know until you know. You know, you don't know what you know. And obviously we don't know anything, we don't know everything by any means. But just from personal experience, you know, years and years of training, I can tell you that, you know, the best guards that I've worked with had, or did have after we worked together, a great, you know, a great skill set overall. And that skill set absolutely included post footwork, right? For guards, more than anything, you know, I really emphasize that using the rondo, right? Selling it up, front pivoting back, finishing, but also just for guards, getting in the paint, landing on two, and being able to make a decision from there. Dude, it helps a lot. Like even just landing in the paint. How many times have we seen guards just land in the paint, like good guards, land in the paint, defense comes, they wall up, and all they're doing is a quick little like front pivot over. Like not even like an up and under, but just like a quick little front pivot to put the defender like on their inside shoulder and then just like hook it in. Like it's good for guards to be able to, you know, have that skill set, have that ability. Like, and that's the other thing, like it's not just, and I know we mentioned it earlier, but it's not just used for like a traditional post up, like, okay, go in the block, sit down, put your hand up and wait. Like anytime, like we mentioned D Rose, like the one move that I've seen him just use multiple times is attack the basket, spin, pump fake. They jump, he steps through, finishes, post move, post footwork, right? So it's not just about posting up, because I know people are moving away from the post up because they want basketball to be played faster. They want to get more possessions. You know, they want the game to be sexier. But like anything, things evolve, and a lot of times it's cyclical, and it'll come back to what it was. Excuse me. So while the NBA, you know, in certain levels, and sometimes even like high school, college, is moving away in a sense from the post, right? I think that it will come back into fashion because one, it's already hard to guard like good post players. Like when you know how to play in the post, like most people, vast majority of people do not have any idea how to guard like a good post player. So that's only going to become more common. So people who are really good in the post, guard, big, wing, whatever, right? I don't really like positions in basketball. Those people are going to have a distinct advantage, right? A cool stat that I found actually was, do you know the first team in NBA history to win a championship and also lead the league in three-pointers?
Well, I did, but only because you told me.
Oh, did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Dude, man, I'm really losing my mind. Yeah, dude.
But I didn't know before that.
Yeah, okay, you didn't know before that. Yeah. But dude, it was Hakeem and the Rockets. Those two, that first year where Jordan had retired, and then they won the back-to-back championship in the 90s. So they had one of the greatest, you know, people say he has the greatest footwork of all time, right? But one of the best centers in NBA history. It was their main option, and they led the league in three-point shooting and were the first team to ever win a championship while doing that. With constant post-ups. And he had it all in his bag, like the face-ups and, you know, the crossover, taking people off the dribble. That's a part of post play too. Being able to face up mid-post, a little bit out of the post, and to attack, and then go into your moves, right? But what Hakeem was saying in the article, and it was a sporting news article from like, I don't know, like a few years ago. What Hakeem was saying in the article was, and it makes a ton of sense, when you have someone who can consistently score for you in the post, the defense has to help down. They have to double team,
Yep.
or at the very least, they have to shrink the court and help and give the illusion, that they're right there.
Mm-hmm.
That you don't have that. You don't have that lane. You can't get to where you think you're going to go. And when they do that, you have to be good enough to kick the ball out. And that's how they led the NBA in threes, right? Double in Hakeem, boom, kick out, right? Kick out for a shot, bang. Kick out for, kick out, catch, pass, one more,
right.
Bang.
Yeah.
Like, get the defense scrambling. So being able to have the ability to get the ball in the post, get it out quick, move the ball quickly, and score, right, could still be a very viable option. And I know that, there are still teams that are doing that,
Mm-hmm.
but everyone's constantly talking about, it's threes and layups. Like, you play out of the pick and roll, big, crash the glass, whatever.
Pop.
Yeah, pop. If you're not scoring out of the pick and roll, like, we're not posting you up. Like, it slows the game down too much. Like, I've had coaches, maybe my favorite coach that I've ever played for, Ryan Kruger,
Mm-hmm.
At the Grand Rapids Drive, fantastic coach. Probably also maybe the best coach I've ever played for. Excellent. But he hated post-ups.
Yeah.
Hated post-ups. Hated them. Like, it's like, no, it's a dinosaur. He's like, we don't do that. We don't do that here, right?
That's tough.
But, yeah, but you can also, I feel like there are benefits when you have someone who can consistently score in the post,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everyone's like threes and layups. Like, that's the most bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, whatever you can hit consistently is the most bang for your buck.
All right.
Really. I mean, and I know the analytics say one thing, but I mean, if it was really like threes and layups were the king, I mean, a team like the Houston Rockets would have a championship in the last 10 years. Well, they definitely haven't had a championship since Hakeem won those in the 90s when Jordan was on his little hiatus.
All right.
So, I mean, it's just very, very interesting to think about that. The other thing that I wanted to touch on in this episode was Hakeem is like famous for like training players, and obviously he's worked with a lot of bigs, but he said that his best pupil that he ever had was Kobe Bryant. He said Kobe utilized the footwork better than anyone he had trained.
Yeah.
Right? The pivots, the fakes, the shoulder shimmies, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he's not necessarily, he could go into the post and post up, but he would do that at the elbow. Like, Kobe would get to the elbow, drive to the elbow, put you on his back, shimmy, turn, jumper.
Yeah.
Post footwork.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or the move that I call the Kobe. I've never seen anyone really like teach it that much, that I've been like working with you guys on for a little while. Is just like the landing on two and then a full front pivot around, like 360 back to the basket and score. And there are people who like use that move mostly in like the NBA and stuff. And Kobe was like the first person that I saw consistently use it, and that's why I call it a Kobe.
All right.
But that's post footwork, and that's literally off of a drive. You drive, you land, you pump fake, they go up, you reverse pivot around because of the angle that they're giving you when they jump. You front pivot around, and then you have like a little jumper. Or I saw Luka do it a couple weeks ago where he did that same move, landed on two, right? Pump faked. The guy jumped, right? Went around, full complete front pivot.
Yeah.
Faked a little bit again. The guy jumped back at him, and he just stepped through.
Yeah.
Even more post footwork. And I know the kid's like 6'10", so I mean he's like a big, but he's not a big, right? And that's more to like my point on like the.
Thought he's like 6'7".
Really?
Yeah.
I was like 6'9", 6'10".
Really?
I thought so. I don't know. Is he 6'7"?
I don't know.
I respect his game a lot. I really don't care how tall he is.
Yeah, he's smooth, man.
He's super smooth.
Yeah.
Right. But being able to have all of that is like special. Like, and then like, if we're talking about a guy like Luka, we can talk about like someone like Dirk, right? Who had like guard skills, like great shooting big man, great footwork, great post work. Like, when is having good footwork going to be like a detriment to your career?
It's a great question.
And I don't think it is. But so many coaches literally will not teach it, or guards don't need to learn that. Like maybe they don't need to learn to post up and seal, but I still don't think it's a bad idea for guards to learn how to post up and seal people, either.
Yeah.
Like if you get like cross screen actions and guards are open for layups, to be able to like seal and put someone on your back and catch and finish, like
Right.
what's wrong with being able to do that?
Yeah, if you got a mismatch or something, or if you want to get a guy in foul trouble.
Exactly. Exactly. Or just how many guards are used to guarding in the post? Very, 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 very few.
Yeah.
Right. So like a guard, to mismatch a guard in the post, if you have a guard with, good post footwork or can score consistently in the post, and to match them up with somebody who will have no chance of guarding them, dude, why not exploit like the advantages that you have, right? I just think that coaches, trainers, parents, whoever should be more open-minded when it comes to training and not necessarily think like, oh, well, my son's a shooting guard, so he's only going to work on threes. Like small-minded, right? Or my son that'd be like, well, my son is 6'9", so he's only going to work on post footwork. We're not going to work on his jumper. We're not going to work on his handle. We're not going to work on him driving to the rim and, finishing, countering, landing on two, passing, all that, just back to the basket. Like super small minded way of thinking, right? And like I always like to say, I truly believe that people do have like good intentions, but I also feel like people don't know what they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, well, we have to work on this because we don't have time to do everything. And it's like, you can make time, right? If it matters enough to you, right?
Bro, if you're only working on one thing, if you're only being a one-dimensional player, like, you better be the best at it. Like,
you better be really good at it.
Better be really, really good at it.
Better be really good at it. Funny enough, in that last episode that we did, we didn't really talk about like time. Like we talked about like being efficient when you go into the gym, like know what you're doing. And I don't necessarily like to put time limits on like things like, oh, well, your workout should be this long or blah, blah, blah. Because it's like, I think that you should come up with like a set of drills that you want to do, right? And then you get it done when you get it done.
Yeah. Do
it right to the best of your ability, and you get it done when you get it done. If it takes 2 hours, it takes 2 hours. If it takes 40 minutes, it takes 40 minutes. But the same thing could be said for, working on like post footwork and adding that to like your training regimen, in the sense that you go in and you do what you do already. Like let's say you're a guard and you don't want to make it like a major priority. So you work out for an hour. What's wrong with doing 20 minutes of post footwork? Like literally you could do drive from the wing, land on two, finish. Drive from the wing, land on two, pump fake, finish. Drive from the wing, land on two, pump fake, finish with a step through. Drive to the lane, get to the middle, get on like side saddle a little bit so you're facing the sideline.
Yep.
Land on two, pump fake, up and under, right? But like a smooth up and under with like a 180 turn and a step through, which I know in the game, a lot of it doesn't turn into that. But if you practice doing it like the very, very, very fundamental way, I feel like it'll just help you to be more balanced, even if in the game you choose to not be as smooth with your footwork, like on the up and under and things like that. And what I'm saying is probably sounds like Spanish to a lot of people, or just like an absolute foreign language.
All right.
But it makes a little bit of sense, for those who do know what I'm talking about and have experienced it or, tried it. It does make sense. And I feel like it's something that should be added to every player's game. And if I was a coach, I would absolutely teach it. And if I had players that were, consistent enough scoring in the post, we would definitely go in the post. Because it's great to have someone in the post, especially when you can pass out of the post.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, right? We could do a whole episode on that, and we probably will. But just like teaching people how to pass efficiently, and to be smooth with it and to make the right reads, right? So it's another super important aspect of the game, because if you're going to post up and you're going to score and you're going to be successful with it, you're going to get double teamed, maybe triple teamed. People are going to, overhelp, right? They're going to try to steal the ball. They're going to try to do whatever. So to be able to kick out, to be able to find people,
Right.
make those passes, it's going to be huge, right? So it's not just about, scoring out of the post, but it's about being able to consistently make the defense think that you're going to do one thing, and then to be able to successfully react to their reactions, right? That's what a lot of basketball is.
All right.
React. So if you had to take a vote, we're voting for continuing to, teach and to actually teach more, post footwork, and, not to overlook it just because you're a guard, right? If you add that aspect to your game, you're going to have an advantage over the vast majority of guards who don't work on it as much as they probably should. So shift the way you think about the game a little bit. If you have any questions, you want to tell us that we're idiots, whatever that may be, you can always reach us at blueprint.athletes at Instagram, whatever. And then blueprint.athletes@gmail.com. We're always happy to answer, any questions, help however we can. If you want to, improve your post game, but you don't necessarily know how, reach out to us. We'll be happy to help. Have a ton of content. Remember, less is more. It'd be better to master 2 to 3 moves than trying to master 30 moves, right? Less is more. Mastery. Do it to the best of your ability, right? Right. If you disagree with me, you can tell me.
Come on now.
I know. But this has been the Blueprint Athletes Basketball Podcast. Thanks for listening.